Pretty paper packages are the perfect accompaniment to all your projects that you make with the Cricut Maker. How about making an entire gift box with an elaborate topper with all the papers in your paper materials kit? From the paper materials kit, please pick out your gold glitter, your black and white and floral paper, your pink solid, and your pink tonal. Now, one of the things that I'm doing with this is I've used part of my pink solid already. Notice it has the Harlequin on the back. I'm using the second sheet of the black and white stripe floral paper. And the glitter sheet, I'm also using the paper that I have been cutting with today. So you'll use all your scraps. Now, in addition to these things, you're going to need quite a few other things to create this project. I'm using 3 sheets of the Cricut craft board. Now, this is available at Cricut.com and most major craft stores. It's got a great weight to it and it's perfect for box making. You're also going to need a bone folder scoring tool, the scoring stylus for the Cricut Maker, and the black pin. The first mat that we're going to load is the black and white striped floral paper. Now you want to put the paper right in the center and apply even pressure overall. The project itself, the URL, is below on the video, so really all you have to do is click that and everything is set up for you to make this box and this beautiful topper. So I'm going to click continue and I'm going to make the topper first. Make sure to choose the material that you're cutting in the Design Space app. So I'm choosing medium cardstock, 80-pound cardstock, and it's going to tell me right here that I need the scoring stylus, the fine point blade, and I'm ready to go. So I'm going to load the scoring stylus first. It goes in clamp A, lift the bottom slightly, push down, close the clamp, feed the mat. One of the things that's really important when you're scoring with the Cricut Maker is that if you unload the mat once it's all finished, you can reload the mat and actually score back on top of itself. You can actually recut as well while as long as you don't completely remove the mat from the machine. It's one of the beauties and the accuracy of the Cricut Maker that makes it different than all the Cricut Explorer family of products. But it will go right back on top of itself and give you an even deeper score. So once again, when you're removing all of your cuts, make sure to take the mat away from the projects. You're getting 4 little pieces of paper that look like this, that are perfectly cut on scalloped edges with tabs and scored cuts. And there's also 2 circles that you're going to need to make the rosette that we're going to make for the top of the gift. For the next cuts, we're going to make the box, and you want to use the Cricut craft board, and you want to use the standard grip mat or the strong grip mat because the paper is so heavy. And here, in choosing the materials, you want to search all materials and type in craft board. And it has a little C next to it, and that C means that it's a Cricut material, one that they actually make and certify. So Cricut Craft Board is one of your options in the many hundreds of materials you can cut with the Maker. If you'll notice that it told me to load the scoring tool, but mine's already loaded, and I want to make sure that the board is on the mat before it goes into the machine. Did you notice that the machine actually went over its cuts twice? It went over its scores twice so that it knows that it's cutting something quite unusual and very heavy. And it does all the work for you. There was no measuring, there was no cutting, there was no planning for these tabs to glue the box. Everything is ready to assemble. The second part of your box is made on the next mat, and once again, you're already cut and folded. Now you'll also cut the lid for the box the same way, which is the third mat of the craft board. And this is your lid, and you see it's already notched and it's already scored. Again, ready to assemble. One of the things that I like the most about the Cricut Maker is how smart it is, because it does all the thinking for you. And you see how I've got just a little bit of gold paper left from my previous projects, and I actually want to keep turning it. And I'm using the light grip, but that's because this particular mat is sticky enough to hold the glitter paper. If it becomes not sticky enough, do go to the standard grip or the strong grip for glitter paper. Here I'm cutting 3 embellishments for the box topper, and they're intricately cut. Again, you need the fine point blade, so we're not changing the blade or anything. Really, we're just pressing go, and the machine does all the work. Now from this sheet of paper, I've cut 3 beautiful acanthus leaves as embellishments, and these will go on the top of the box. For our last cut, we're going to use the pink tonal paper to make the actual paper ribbons for the box and the bow. Now removing the bow, this is actually large, which is really actually very pretty. So these are the tails of the bow. These are your paper ribbons. And you notice that the bow is coming off so beautifully. It looks kind of like a octopus, doesn't it? To make the tag, we're going to use the pink solid paper with the harlequin on the back. It's going to go at the top of your mat. And now we're going to do what the Cricut Maker does best, which is write and cut at the same time. You see here we have a little something, which is the perfect gift tag for any gift that you're giving this year. It's going to draw a little something and cut out the perfect shape. What's really smart is that it's going to tell me to load the pen. We're going to use the black pen that came with your pen set, fine point pen, and we're going to tell it that we're working on medium cardstock. That's an 80-pound cardstock, which is, I would say, 90% of the cardstocks in the world. There we have the perfect little tag for your pretty present. Okay, so now we are ready to assemble. You'll be able to make this box in multiple sizes. We sized it to 11.5 inches so that the cut was the maximum size for the mat. Now you could go even larger with the extra long mats from Cricut. I'm going to start with the lid of the box, and you'll notice that I've taken all of the scores that have happened on the paper and warmed them up, meaning we've just made them move along a little better than had they just been folded once. Just warm them up like that. Now, hot glue is going to go on all the tabs, and so you want to add a little dab to each corner. And before you start, you want to make sure you have enough glue. So you fold them in to one another just like that. So the tab goes in. I know this is black and difficult to see, but the tab goes in on all 4 sides. Be careful to take away the glue strings and don't burn yourself. So see how each tab goes on the inside of the box lid. To make the bottom of the box, you're going to take both pieces and fold them similarly to one another, and the 2 sides are going to make the cube. I'm going to move this so that you can see. So you want to fold the bottom in, so the square on top of the square. Fold the tabs in so that they're on the inside of the box. And then I'm going to add a little hot glue in the center just to hold this in place. This is going to act as a double-walled box, which is going to give it enough strength to hold your most precious presents. For the other side, we'll do the exact same thing. So squares on squares, tabs to the center. All right, a little hot glue in the middle. That'll just hold it in place. Okay, now we're ready to assemble the box. To assemble the box, it's going to fold into itself and make a right angle, just like that. And this tab is where your adhesive is going to go. The second part of the box also has a little pocket that you just made, and this is where the tab is going to insert. The same thing is going to happen on the opposite side with this tab. Put more glue on the last outer tab and connect the box in the center. Make sure that the seal is nice and tight. Now we're ready to assemble the bottom of the box. It's very much like one of those office supply boxes where you put side A in first, side B and the little tab, side C, tuck the little tab, and then D that goes right in the middle. So you have the perfect finish to the box. Now, all you need is your present, right? Well, let's make sure that we wrap the top of this beautiful little box perfectly with a bow and a rosette. To assemble the rosette on the top of the box, all you have to do is a little peak and valley, mountain and valley fold. So what that means is that your Cricut maker has already scored this paper perfectly for no measuring, right? And it cut this fancy little edge, and all you're doing is folding back and forth to create that kind of thing. So it's an accordion, and then there's a tab at the end that you're going to use to connect four pieces, the four pieces that you cut, to make this one rosette. So how do we do that? We take a little more hot glue and add it just to the edge of the tab. We found that this is the fastest and easiest way. It just goes right underneath the first piece. It makes it seamless. We just do that again, where we add hot glue to the tab. To the edge, and it always goes underneath the first fold of the next piece. One more time, glue goes on the top. And you'll use that final tab to actually to make the entire rosette stay together. So you see, we're starting with this, and again, once again, we're going to fold it back into that wonderful shape that we started with. And if you've got some going in the wrong direction, just keep folding them over and under, over and under, over and under, until you have this nice, tight, wonderful little thing. Now, I have taught people all over the world how to do this from scratch, right, by measuring and scoring, and never has it been so easy as it is with the Cricut Maker. Fan out both sides and connect it at that last tab. Now, you do need an extra set of hands, but at least keep your finger in the middle to hold everything together until the glue dries. One thing we've included in the project is a circle, and you'll use this circle to hold your rosette together on the back and the front. That's a finished rosette. That's beautiful. Now, to create the bow, we're going to do the same kind of thing, where all of the tails of the bow are going to fold into the center using hot glue. So we'll add a little glue to the center and fold in the edge. Again, be careful with the hot glue. It dries very quickly and is brittle. So each tail goes into the center, and don't crease it. Let it be three-dimensional, just like this. This tail wraps around the center of the bow, and it gets secured with hot glue on the back. Now what's really pretty about this type of bow is that we already cut the background for it. So this is the tail of the bow, or part of it, and they get glued together as well. So there's the top of the present. Very pretty. To make the box appear that it has ribbon wrapped all the way around, you're going to take the strips that we have cut and apply them to the edges of the box. Now take off the lid, and here's what I would do. I would definitely apply adhesive there and then wrap this piece on the inside of the box so that the lid comes off the box very easily. Do this on both sides of the box. Again, starting at the bottom. So I'm going to glue here, fold, and wrap. Now the assembly process for the lid makes it so now that this will come off by itself, you want to put your rosette on, and then the bow goes on top of the rosette. Now decorating with the little gold flourish embellishments, I would do this, in and around your decoration just so that it looks very festive. One of my design rules is to do things in odd numbers, so there are only 3 of these, and they should just circle the top of the gift. Now, you have the perfect little gift tag already written and die cut for you. And let me just tell you, I think that's beautiful in the making.